Stoveleg Media, igniting conversation.
Welcome to True Crime to Go. What can I get for you?
Yeah, let me have something local, but, I need a new identity. I have my identity, but I need, a new, different identity.
Pull up to the second window, and we'll see you next crime.
Welcome to True Crime to Go. I am John, here with Jamie. I just want to make sure they understand what I mean.
She's like, dude, I get it. Stop saying identity.
I know.
She's so frustrated.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. As far as I know, my identity has not been stolen, so very appreciative of that.
Oh, man, we could do a true crime case on my mother. Her identity was stolen recently.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
So the culprits got away with some of her money, and, oh, man, she told me where they spent it at. They bought something online, and I wish I could remember.
I bet it was something ridiculous.
It was pretty unique, for sure.
Dang.
So
now I need to know. I'm gonna call your mom.
Yeah.
But for now, why don't you get us rolling?
I don't know why I'm mad about you saying that, but I am. So today, this story takes place in Lexington, Kentucky, and it is really one of the saddest cases that we will have heard about because it involves dead victims. So not that they were murdered,
right.
They were already dead, and then they were exploited. So Lexington, Kentucky, we're going to go to federal court, which is, something that you just wrapped up some jury duty from last year.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but yeah.
Ronald Jerome Woolfolk.
Yeah.
Yeah. 27-year-old, former employee of a Lexington funeral home, pleaded guilty to a series of crimes involving fraud and identity theft. According to prosecutors, Woolfolk, that is such a weird name. We'll just start calling him Ronald Jerome. He used his position at a funeral home to access the names, personal details, and circumstances of deceased children and young adults whose families had come through his funeral home. But instead of keeping that information secure, as the families and the funeral home would have expected, he weaponized it. Between August of 2022 and October of 2023, he submitted more than 20 fraudulent funding requests to a Georgetown, Kentucky area nonprofit charity. The charity was established to cover funeral, cremation, and burial costs for children who died unexpectedly, typically for their families who could not afford those services. And he used those forged invoices, fake cremation certificates, and fraudulent letters, all created on his employer's official funeral home letterhead, and sent it from funeral home email accounts. He ended up being convicted and had to issue some repayments.
Yeah, he directed the payments, which was around $12,000, into a Square account he controlled, which Square, you can create an account in there basically for people to pay for goods, but they're kind of paying you. Square, not a sponsor, totally could be, but used at flea markets and concession stands and square.com. Anyway, so he was using Square. $12,000 went into it, and he created the account and named it Heaven's Headstones. And the funeral home did not get these funds. This was an account he created that he hung on to. Now, this isn't abstract paperwork. Some of the cases involved real children who had passed away, some from even homicide. Some were infants. One of the families targeted, that of a 9-month-old who passed away in July of 2023. Her mother still wears necklaces containing her daughter's ashes and was devastated to learn that her daughter's name, address, and image had been used in this fraud scheme. She said, "It sends fire through my body. It gets me angry because it states that the 9-month-old homicide victim's name, address, and images were used. What pictures are you sending for my daughter?" So obviously this is important to the families and very, this is egregious and very hateful. He had no role in the funerals of many of these children, including this one. And these funerals were provided at no cost by the funeral home as part of its community service. So in no way was this legitimate, on the up and up. Was he using pre-existing paperwork? He was creating all of this on his own.
Yeah, this is just insane. So, Yeah, he used the funeral home's email systems, letterheads, internal records to manufacture these fake documents, and he would try to delete them once they had been sent. And I mean, because the charity's purpose was deeply tied to grief and loss, these requests appeared to be legitimate. So this is, I don't know, it's just intriguing to me how, like, one, how does a person think up this crap? And then two, like, how did he get caught? I'm interested to see if those records will ever be released to the public to know, like, what happened there.
Yeah, and I am just glad that he did get caught. I can't imagine something like this. Even, I mean, the entire story, he started working at a funeral home, or he was doing this 4 years ago in 2023, or nearly 4 years ago, when he was 23 years old. So it's just so odd to me that usually when I attend a funeral home, maybe it's just based on where you and I are from, it's either a really old person or one of their really young relatives. Like, it's a family business most of the time. So you don't just hire random 23-year-olds to work there. He has pled guilty to 5 counts of wire fraud and 7 counts of aggravated identity theft in connection with all this going on. Under federal law, the wire fraud can carry up to 20 years in prison, and each of the other charges have a mandatory minimum 2-year sentence, which will be consecutive for each count. So he hasn't been sentenced yet. That's coming in March, but he's looking at potentially as many 34 years in prison. I don't think he'll get that much, but with the wire fraud and each individual charge of identity theft, he could see that long.
I don't want to make us go over 10 minutes. How are we on time? Because I have a suggestion.
We got a few. We're good.
I really, in all my heart, believe that families should never have to pay, like, for someone to come and dig a grave, because we have people in prison who have hands that could use shovels.
Right.
Like, this guy, his sentence should include digging graves for people who don't have the funding to pay for them.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that. I think that's a service the community needs, that these families deserve. They're already going through such a hardship, and it's so expensive to go through this process. So
He's a young man. He could dig a grave a day.
he could dig a lot, and hopefully he'll be digging for several years, would be my hope.
Guys, that's going to wrap this one up. We appreciate you, and we could not do this without you, so thank you so much. If you don't care, please take time to leave a rating and a review. Or another fun thing you could do that would be really helpful is to share this episode on your social media. Get more word out about what we're doing over here at True Crime Cast.
Yeah, this is a local story. I hadn't even heard of it before John brought it to me, so I think this is a story that should get out there, maybe happening to other people and that kind of thing. I do worry that the Woolfolk situation ruined whatever credit we earned with Tartaglione yesterday, but
I tried my hardest.
you want to know what that means? Go back and listen to yesterday's episode.
Maybe share that one instead.
This has been a crime story in 10 minutes or less.
Would you like crime with that?
You've listened to True Crime Cast, distributed by Stoveleg Media. Check out stoveleg.com to find out more about your hosts and to find other podcasts to listen to. Stoveleg Media, igniting conversation.